bye week. How was it? What did you guys accomplish in practice?
The bye week we had last week, we took major steps forward. On the offensive side of the ball, we kind of perfected some of our technique and fundamental things, and we had a good week of practice last week, so I think we took a couple steps forward.
What's it like getting a couple days off?
You gotta love a couple of days off. You get to kick back and relax. Especially with the schedule we have. Coach Strong keeps us on a pretty tough schedule, and he works us pretty hard. So, every now and then when we get a couple of days off, we like to enjoy them.
Did you watch football?
I did. I watched football most of the weekend.
Which games did you watch?
Say it again.
Which games did you watch?
I watched the West Virginia game, and I watched a little bit of UCF in South Carolina.
How much do you compare your team to the teams you're watching? So I think what you could do against teams?
I find myself doing that a lot more now, considering, playing and being in the season. I find myself doing that a lot. I don't really, base other teams off what we do because we are our own team. So, I kind of look back and most of all watch personnel, especially with Central Florida, considering that we're going to play them. So, I just kind of watch personnel mostly. So I don't really compare the two teams.
In a week like this when you're favored over a team, how many times do you hear from the coaches, stay focused or don't worry about anybody else, just think about Temple, like those kind of things?
You hear it every day, One thing they try to make sure we do is just stay humble and stay hungry. That's our slogan around here. And one thing that I think our team, we kind of got that in our minds that we're not the best team. We got to keep working. There's things that we got to continue to get better on, and that's mostly how we approach this game. Because we're going to play a good football team this weekend. Make sure that we are on top of our game. So. No. I mean, it was a pretty good win. It was a lot of things that we did right, but then there was things that we did wrong. So, for the most part, we try to focus on the things that we did wrong and polish those things up, and just try to continue to go forward.
I don't know if you ever really go against him because you guys are both on the first team, but what do you think about how difficult Brandon Dunn is to block and maybe what he does for the defense?
Brandon Dunn's a good player, and what he brings for us up front on the defensive line is experience. He's going into four-year player for us. So he's a really good player, and he's a big guy that can move. And that gives a lot of people problems, especially in the inside when you have an active guy like Brandon Dunn. So he is a good player, and sometimes it is hard to block him. I don't personally go up against him very much, but I talk to some of our guards, and they say he is a tough guy to block. So he's pretty good.
How different is Teddy now? I mean, it seems like a couple times you see where there's a penalty off the line, he'll be up in your face. I don't know that we saw that before. Is that different about him this year?
Yeah. Teddy holds us as an offensive line to a high standard. Certain things that he expects us not to do, which is foolish penalties, like, false starts and stuff like that. So, anytime we get some of those penalties, he kind of gets in your ear a little bit and makes sure that you stay focused. And, we don't want any self-inflicted wounds. So he makes us pretty aware of that.
How much does that add to? I mean, you don't want to hear from the coach, but you really not want to hear from Teddy.
Yeah. I mean, his approach to it makes it easy. He doesn't really, kind of chew you out or anything, but he kind of motivates you to not be that guy making those foolish mistakes. So, it's pretty easy to hear from him rather than hear from the coach.
As a line, how do you feel about how you guys have progressed so far this year? How well do you think you played last week or 2 weeks ago?
As an offensive line, I feel we've made tremendous steps forward. Coming into the season, we had big questions about who's going to be the right side. And coming into the season, we had a couple of guys battling for the positions on the right side. And, once we got in the season, I felt like that those guys stepped up and Ryan Mack. Those guys stepped up, and we've made tremendous steps forward. And 2 weeks ago in our performance, we played good. You know, it was things that we need to work on. Of course, we gave up a sack, which is something that we, try not to do. That's our biggest goal. But for the most part, I feel like with that we're making tremendous strides forward.
What do you have to do to improve?
Up front, it's all about communication. You know, we have to make sure that we are communicating and we're all on the same page as a unit. You know, if any one guy's out of the loop and doesn't know what's going on, then that could lead to a lot of mistakes. You know, so we just try to make sure that we stay communicating with each other and everything will go smooth.
What are your impressions of Temple just so far? Just kind of prepared for?
Temple, I mean, they got tough guys, you know, on their defense. They have, I think they have 5 to 6 returning starters from last year that was, you know, pretty good guys. So, you know, we just try to make sure that we prepare for them like we prepare any other week, you know, which is hard, and try to focus on things that we can do to, you know, take advantage of their defense, and, you know, pretty much we just focus on us and make sure we're doing what we're doing.
What is your impression about Jake through 4 games? I mean, because it's one thing in practice, but when you get in game situations and stuff, the way he's handled it.
I mean, well, you know, Jake's an experienced guy, and, you know, having that switch from guard to center, you know, I think he's ticking on pretty well. You know, like you said, practice is a lot different than the game, and in the game, you know, he's very poised, and he's kind of our leader out there. So, you know, I think he handles it well. I think he handles it real well.
In the past, there was always talk about winning the Big East championship. Do you guys talk about that with the AAC at all?
No, that's not really our focus. Our focus really is, you know, week to week. You know, we got to make sure that we take care of business every week, and that's really the focus around here. You know, we don't look too far ahead. We don't really worry about things that we can't control. We just worry about what we can control, which is how we prepare this week and for this game.
When you're playing in this many outside games, do you feel like you have a good gauge on just how good a team you are?
I think we have a gauge on how good we can be. You know, like I said, we've had some pretty good games, but we haven't done everything perfect, which is something that I know that we strive for as an offense. We push for perfection, so we know that, you know, that we do have a pretty solid team, but we can get a lot better.
Is there anybody on this team that is annoyed with the schedule, that is not following this mindset of week to week, that is like, man, I know they're telling us to us, but I'm so frustrated with it. Is anyone having that mindset?
No, I don't. I wouldn't say anyone has that mindset. You know, I think we're kind of mature now. You know, we kind of know how to go about our business, and, you know, I think everyone's just focused on the task at hand, which is Temple, and I think that's how we go into it every week. You know, regardless of who we're playing or where we're playing, we focus on that we have to be 1-0 at the end of the week.
How much pride does the offensive line take in Teddy's Heisman campaign and the national talk he gets? And if you see somebody talking about Manziel or somebody, are you thinking, hey, come on, my guy's the best?
You know, as an offensive line, I think we take great pride in what Teddy does. You know, and what he does for us is, you know, he makes sure that we're in the right plays and, you know, everything. So we try to make sure that we make his job easy. You know, we know that if we can keep him on his 2 feet, then he can help us do what we want to do, which is win games. So that's our biggest thing. That if we protect Teddy, then we win. So.
Is he as special as everyone always talks about him being in the locker room? What's he like as a person?
Teddy's a funny guy. You know, he's fun to be around. You know, a lot of times when you see him out there in the games, he's business, but, you know, he can't kick the shoes off and relax and be a funny guy in the locker room, and that's what I like about him.
You ever see some of his TV interviews and you're like, that's just not the same guy we see in the locker room. Pretty great guy, pretty reserved.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when he has his interviews, he carries himself very professionally, you know, and that's something that, you know, I try to learn from, you know, being able to carry myself professional in different situations. But, you know, Teddy is Teddy. You know, he is what he is in front of the camera, and he's the same person when he's not on the camera. So Teddy's Teddy.
He's a funny guy. I mean, what things he says, things he does.
Yeah, just everything. You know, he'll crack jokes on you from time to time, and he'll get in the locker room. He'll dance. You know, I wouldn't say he's the best dancer, but you know, he'll dance. You know, it's just different things that he does that makes Teddy hilarious.
Anything memorable you can remember him saying that cracked people up?
Not at this moment. Not at this moment.
Is he a bad dancer?
I wouldn't say he's a bad dancer, but I wouldn't say he's a good dancer either.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Jamon.
All right.